Managers Week, powered by Citrix. Craig Counsell getting peppered by his daughter Rowan. Good question, professional answer as well. Let's see if we can get some smiles and good answers out of Counts here on IT. First of all, Case, you lead us off here because you know
Counts, well, you know what? That is such a perfect question because I've brought this up before with you, and like for your daughter to say that is just, it adds it. Everyone always says, "Hey, who are the greatest guys to talk to at first base, and who are the toughest conversations?" I said one of the greatest guys, but was the toughest conversation was Craig Counsell because he never smiled, never did anything. Counts. I just want to know, like, now that your daughter said that, what was going through your brain when you got to first base and you were just, what was going through your brain there?
Well, first of all, that was my daughter roasting me flat out. Yeah. Like
I love it.
The family still loves that for sure. No, those cases. So I told you this case. It's like, so Pat Murphy, who's the bench coach for the Brewers, he instilled in us never talk to the other team, never talk to the other team. And I'm going to tell you, when you get to first base and Sean Casey's there and you can't talk, it's been drilled in you, don't talk. That's the hardest thing in the world because he's going a mile a minute and you're not talking to him and he thinks you're the rudest guy in the world.
That's the truth. And you know what? Coming from Murph, who I covered when he was a manager in Eugene, Oregon, he doesn't hate talking.
No, he loves talking, but it's like we were intimidating the other team. You don't talk to the other team. And I bought into it for some reason, and I always kind of carried it with me. And then you'd get on first base with Sean and be like, I feel so bad I can't talk to him.
Yeah, I'd be like, Counts, way to swing it. Your swing looks great, man. Hey, man, you're really running well. Nothing, just stone face me. Just.
So I think that is the most common question you get asked, your favorite conversations at first base. Counts, you are the most common answer to the question, whose batting stance did you imitate growing up? It's Craig Counsell. It's Gary Sheffield. It's Craig Counsell, right? It's Julio Franco. It's Craig Counsell. So I got to know who Craig Counsell tried to imitate as a kid before you ended up with this.
Well, it's not that I tried to imitate somebody. It's that I got released. It's that because I couldn't hit. I mean, crazy things can come out of your batting stance when you get released and you can't get any hits. And that is a product of not getting any hits and getting released. I credit that all to getting released.
Okay. So before getting released, as a youngster, then who were you trying out?
I would say, the Brewer players, that I grew up with were definitely Yount and Paul Molitor. And they made it look so simple. I mean, Paul Molitor may have been one of he did nothing at the plate. It was beautiful. Like he just did nothing, and all of a sudden the ball was, a line drive over the second baseman's head or something like that. So I tried that. It just didn't work. I wasn't strong enough. Whatever. So it didn't always look like that. I didn't hit like that as a kid. I always, from Arizona kids are the kids that I always hear from the most they're in their 20s now or whatever from the 2001 era. And I feel like I did make a parent's job quite a bit harder. I made some dad's jobs quite a bit harder, that's for sure.
No.
Don't do that. Kids, don't do that. Don't do that. So good. Hey, Counts, it seems we have a kid. My son's a senior, Jake. And you have a son, Brady, that's going to the University of, I believe, Minnesota to play some baseball.
Speaking of Paul Molitor.
What do you, like I know for me as a dad, I'm like, I'm looking forward to getting out there and maybe seeing him play at some point. What do you think about him going to Minnesota, playing college ball, but also about you still being the manager, maybe not getting to see him play?
Yeah, no, it's definitely something I think about, and one of the hardest parts is that you're not. Thankfully, there's hopefully a little more video access now that maybe you get a shot, but still being in there in person would be a thrill, and I'm happy for him. I think anybody that's gets to go play at the next level, it's very rare. Not many kids get to go play at the next level, so he's fortunate, and I feel like he's earned it through a lot of hard work.
One youngster that you do get to watch every day who probably makes your job more enjoyable and maybe a little easier is Devin Williams, the reigning Rookie of the Year in the National League, in a special year. Have two black players win it at the same time. Kyle Lewis in the American League, first time since the award was renamed for Jackie Robinson. But can you speak to Devin Williams? We know what his talent is, but what he's like to manage, especially being such a young guy?
Well, it was just an incredible, 4 months for Devin, I think. We had high hopes for Devin for sure, kind of going into the season, but it's also a great lesson for how quickly players can take the next step. because he went from somebody we were excited about to, the best reliever in baseball. And it just some confidence just started coming through at some point, and especially with the changeup. He's always had a great changeup, but the confidence to wait a second, they can't hit this pitch. And it almost became with hitters at parts of the season where it was like a 2-strike at bat. Like he got 2 strikes, if he got 2 strikes on him, the 3rd strike wasn't really, it was over. And it was fun to watch, and it was fun to watch a player and a young man just grow into the confidence and grow into his talent really, really quickly. Like, you don't see it happen that quick very often.
Counts, take us back to the young Craig Counsell, freaking hands up here, dominating, facing Devin Williams. How would you have done with that changeup?
Well, it's so the league always makes an adjustment, right? And they try, and that's fun to watch too. It's fun watching the league and the great players kind of adjust back and forth in that cat and mouse game. So, you saw the players try to sit on the changeup. That was one step. You saw the early swings. Those are 2. So I would compare it to Trevor Hoffman a little bit. Like, my job against Trevor Hoffman was to swing as soon as I can, because if I got to 2 strikes and I had to hit both of those, it wasn't going to happen.
It was over.
Case and I have had a blast during Managers Week, powered by Citrix, talking to you and your counterparts and having some fun. And in our preparation for our chat with you here today, we noticed that you have been named the 7th most handsome manager in baseball by Craig Calcaterra. Of course, we know his work. Rocco Baldelli, number 1. Are you okay sitting in the 7th spot?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm sure this is a highly thought out list. We put a lot of scientific process into it. I'm great with it. Just put me somewhere in the middle. I'm happy.
You'll take it. You'll take it.
Great. That's so
Do you have any issues? You know a lot of those dudes, Case.
Kevin Cash at 5 is an absolute joke. I mean, Counsell's way better looking than him. And Derek Shelton, I don't know. Maybe he should be up the list a little more. I don't know.
I love it.
One of the guys that you won't have around next year, unfortunately, is Corey Knebel. And in his Instagram tribute, I don't know if you saw that. He included
I did.
An electric photo of you paying up on a bet. Talk us through this.
This is Texas Notre Dame football about 5 years ago. The Irish went down to the Longhorns, and that's the Corey Knebel Letterman's jacket from the University of Texas, the real thing. He let me wear it.
Oh, it looks like he was going to shake, rattle, roll with those gloves right there.
A little combo. Yeah, that is.
We talked that night, and he was like, I didn't know if I should post that picture. I said, hey, man, I think I look better than you in that picture.
No debate. That's great. You want to take us home, Case? What do you got for
That's great, man. No, that's it, man. Counts. We appreciate it, brother. We really enjoy. Listen, it allows me and everyone else to see that Craig Counsell's personality is there. Pat Murphy, you're out of here, brother.
Murph.
Not talking
there you go.
base.
Get him out of here.
That's old. That's way old school. We got Counts giving some personality now. We appreciate it, brother.
All I know, 7th most handsome. You're hard pressed to find a better head of hair than Counts in a dugout in the big league. That's for darn sure. We appreciate you, man, stopping by. Happy holidays to you and the family.